Compassionate empathy, from emotion to action. Can you say you feel true empathy? It is wonderful when someone else understands the reality of your feelings. But it's even better when they go beyond feeling and having intentions and arrive at compassionate empathy. This includes doing something, providing active support and generally helping with what they can now. If there is one thing the world needs right now, it's compassionate empathy. This means not settling for understanding, connection, the heart that empathizes with other people. This is about taking action. It is about providing support for one, love and true well-being. Lewis Carroll once said that one of the secrets of life is that we are not just here to be. We are also here to help and ensure that everyone can experience the world in a dignified and beautiful way. But let's be honest, it can be really hard for people to do this sometimes. It's hard because so many of us let the intentions and feelings be, but we never act on them. For example, we can support countless things on social media with a like, a share, or by signing a petition. We have an eye for endless problems in our society. But we don't always see the problems that are much closer to us. Compassionate empathy is more than just feeling. Compassionate empathy means being able to provide support to people in your life. The problem is that you may not be fully aware that this friend or colleague needs your active support at any given time. In some cases, you may be well aware of it, but you don't know what to do about it. What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others will remain in the world and be immortal. Albert Pike. The third kind of empathy. Compassionate empathy was defined by psychologist and emotion expert Paul Ekman. The idea was also useful to Daniel Goleman when he developed his concept of emotional quotient, which is part of the theory of emotional intelligence. It is also important to understand that sympathy is not a narrow, flat concept. It can be about much more than just understanding someone else's emotional reality. The concept of empathy is actually something that needs to be understood much broader and more complex than that. And the truth is that not many people would score very high if they were to take a test of their emotional competence. Let's dwell a little deeper on what empathy is. Types of empathy. First, there is emotional empathy. In Daniel Goleman's own words, it can be contagious, even dangerous, if you don't know how to put limits on it and sacrifice yourself for other people's suffering. This type basically means that one is able to relate to another's emotional reality. This means that you can empathize with them and put yourself in their place. It's a process that involves you mirroring neurons, your emotions, and even physical responses. Second, there is cognitive empathy. This type involves you using your intellect and the cognitive processes such as attention, reflection, communication and intervention. Basically, it involves knowing how a person feels, why they feel that way, and in some cases being able to guess what they are thinking. Finally, there is the great unknown that so many of us neglect: compassionate empathy. In the words of Daniel Goleman, true compassion means not only feeling someone else's pain, but also doing something to ease it. This type of empathy means that you can feel and understand why they feel that way and that you then try to help them. What are people like with compassionate empathy? These people have taken another step in their personal growth. They are basically experts in managing relationships with other people. They are balanced and know how to react in different situations. Exercising and honing your empathy will help you always act somewhere between logic and emotion. It can help you evaluate situations from a very balanced perspective. This means that you don't get carried away by people's emotions, but also go behind the cold logic that just sees things but doesn't do anything about them. A person with compassionate empathy knows how to act in almost any situation. They always find a way to give the right support to that person. People with compassionate empathy are good at reciprocity. Successful relationships and meaningful bonds are always built on an understanding of reciprocity. It's a constant "you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours." This means knowing when to listen and respond, and also having the feeling that you deserve the same. This is what makes compassionate empathy part of our personal well-being. It's not just about helping other people. It is also about you receiving support yourself when you need it. They know the key to connecting with others. Connecting with others is one of the important things about compassionate empathy. It means that one can meet another with sincerity. You will understand their personal reality and accept it, without being judgmental, preconceived, or having hidden intentions. This contact, based on respect and goodwill, will also help you to see their needs and what you can do to help them. But just as importantly, good compassionate empathy doesn't mean you have to act like a savior every time you help. You need to know what to offer and how, because people don't always ask for what they need. You should always keep that in the back of your mind. We would like to end with a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. The greatest gift we can offer others is our attention. When mindfulness embraces those we love, they will blossom like flowers. That's true. But sometimes, you have to go the extra mile. You have to take action. You have to know what is the right thing to do.